Well, I, VD of Video Games for Fun, am doing something pretty different today by looking back at my earliest game reviews. I'm looking back through some of my catalogue, so to speak, to find my earliest reviews of video games that I wrote. I also reviewed other things as well, like books and stuff, but for the purpose of this channel, obviously look at my gaming ones. The earliest one I think I wrote was for a school project in 1998. Well, not really a school project, but it was more like a classroom project where pretty much throughout the year we would put together this sort of scrapbook magazine sort of thing and talk about, not just our favorite computer games, but our favorite books, music, draw art, you name it. And so I am looking for the first time in quite a while, it's not like I particularly remembered the reviews word for word, to see what I think of my earliest reviews of video games. Let's actually read this. Let's see what I think of it. It simply says Sonic. Oh yes, I remember this and I'll explain why. Let's read this. I like Sonic and it's fun and great. What you have to do is you have to choose a character. Well, yeah. And try to finish 2 levels. Oh my god, 2 levels. With a big score, a best time bonus, and a lot of rings. I think some people will love it. What the heck? I'll explain. I think I vaguely remember what the story of that was. I'll just put this down now. So, oh my god. It's so simple. Regardless of the popularity of Sonic, you know what Sonic game it actually was, and I didn't necessarily realize at the time. So this was for Sonic and Knuckles, and maybe I guess essentially Sonic 3. So I do vaguely remember we were, shopping for computer stuff and all that stuff, and I guess I was also really into Sonic. Maybe I was hoping for a Sonic game that day, I don't know. We came across a series of floppy disks for Sonic and Knuckles, or they might have said Sonic 3 and Knuckles. According to the picture there, it just says Sonic and Knuckles, so what do I know? Now, I also do vaguely recall it was also hard to install this game on a computer. Now, of course, these were floppy disks, so I'm not surprised in retrospect. And the game did work, but it would stop at the end of the first world or zone or level, which was Angel Island Zone. For those of you who played Sonic 3 will remember that level. So when Knuckles steps on the switch and Sonic falls down into a Hydrocity or Hydro City. I've never figured out how to pronounce that. The game stopped. The game stopped. So what happened was, pretty much, I would play Angel Island 1 and 2 as multiple characters. I would choose Sonic or Sonic and Tails and Knuckles, which I will admit was fun in retrospect. It meant I got to explore, quite a bit of a level. You're like, oh, what does Tails do? What does Sonic do? What does Knuckles do? But I'm not sure if the game did not work properly or I had to use another floppy disk to basically go the next level, regardless of the save function that came with the game. But I, in some ways, essentially reviewed a demo of a game. It probably wasn't a demo, but it's so simple. And the first sentence, I like Sonic and it's fun and great. So how old was I when I wrote this? I would have been, 1998. I would have been about 9 years old. I hadn't turned 10 yet. But anyway, I do play Sonic 3 nowadays, and I also remember that's the actual Sonic game, and I do like it, so... Let's read the other one. So, there was also another classroom project the following year in 1999. And all the students, again, talked about their favorite games, favorite books, etc. Now, I'm pretty sure I did a review in this one for a computer game, so let's find it. Oh, there I am. Oh, it's for Light Wars, of course. Let's read this one. My favorite game at the moment is called Light Wars, and it's a Nintendo 64 game. Better intro than the Sonic one. Andros has invaded the system. Invaded the Light system? And only you can stop him. Okay. As Fox McCloud, see, I understood the characters. You must battle through planets and get to the planet Venom. Not sure why planet has uppercase P, but we wrote the reviews and, talked about grammar and stuff. Anyways, you play Venom where Andros lives and stop him. Wasn't Andros exiled to Venom? I think he was. There are bosses to destroy and many tasks to complete. such as destroying the satellite and saving Slippy from the monster at Titania. Clearly, I remembered Slippy quite a bit. Destroying the satellite. What mission was that? Was that the boss one after Slippy on Titania? The satellite. I would have done quite a few of the levels. I'm not sure how many of the pathways or whatnot I completed at that time. Your teammates are Peppy, Slippy, and Falco, and there are 7 levels. Well, maybe I only did one pathway at the time. And I didn't even talk about that in the review. It is rated G+ because it shows comic horror. Get it and play it. Okay, so less succinct. It talks sort of about the game. You must battle through planets. It doesn't really talk about what sort of genre it is, I guess. And although I must say that rated G+ because it shows comic horror, I paid special attention to the classifications of video games. So, you have G, for general, and M for mature, that sort of thing. So, and also it doesn't talk about the multiplayer. I'm not sure how much the multiplayer I did at that time. Maybe regardless of, leaving the control idle while I just flew around shooting stuff. But that's not bad. It seems a little bit similar to the sort of reviews I write today in terms of listing things. It's a bit more of an objective review rather than a subjective one. It just simply says what the game has rather than... Well, but yeah, definitely that Light Out Wars one was better than the Sonic one. Plus, I actually knew what the game was, had a bit of a sense for characters, and also kind of said what was in it. So, as far as I can tell, also, I think my teacher may have thought it was a Star Wars game, judging by the art there. That doesn't matter. And Shadows of the Empire, which I haven't played actually, but I know carries a lot of nostalgia for, a lot of the 1064 and Star Wars people. So there you go. Those are my first 2 reviews over there. Let's see if I can find some more.